Hi, I'm Mark Scherer. I'm the CEO and founder of Encompass Life and the host of the Wellness Revolution podcast. And on today's call, we have Brian Richards, who he has a company called the SaunaSpace, and he is doing something very, very different in saunas in a way to restore and regenerate the body in in ways he's discovered on his own and has built proprietary equipment for his product. And he looks like he's about 20, but he's actually about double that age. So
Thank
he
you.
does have some life experiences and a really, really bright guy. So, Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Mark. Grateful to
You're
be here.
welcome. You're welcome. So, tell me a little bit about your journey and what got you into doing the sauna space.
Yeah, my journey is ultimately a personal health journey. So about 12 years ago or more, actually, now you've already aged me, so I guess I could talk about how long ago it was. I was done with my college career and had a lot of sort of intractable health issues that were none of them were super severe, but they all were kind of frustrating. I had insomnia and mind racing. I was lethargic. I had this weird acne on my back. And I was like, this is not me. There's something going on here. And I got recommended to take, some kind of powerful drug for the acne. And I was like, no, I want to address the root cause. That's what I love about what you're doing, Mark. You talk about, well, the issue with health is really the root cause of things. I believe strongly that the that health is a function of disharmony or harmony in the internal and external environments. So I'm also grateful to have grown up with two physician parents. My dad was a radiologist, very conventional, all mainstream, focused on mammography. And my mother was more of a wellness-minded naturopathic MD. And she was prescribing vitamin therapy, in the 80s in Montana, where I grew up. So I had no idea how avant-garde, she was. But I've always respected her. And she said, Brian, you're probably just toxic. You probably just need to get a sauna and detox a little bit. And so I was like, huh, that's a great idea. I looked up the research on sauna. It's amazing for longevity, for reducing your risk of all-cause mortality, and so many other things. And then at the end of my research, I discovered this strange concept called the electric light bath. It was invented by Dr. Kellogg in 1891, and he he essentially used incandescent light bulbs, which were a new invention at that time. And he said, you know what? There's something special about these light bulbs. Let's make a sauna out of it. And so he does this at his clinic in Battle Creek, Michigan, and he wrote a book on this his research of over 200,000 sauna sessions logged, over 50,000 chronically ill patients, and basically an amazing healing story of healing and resolving symptoms of every type of chronic illness he could come across. And he wrote this book called Light Therapeutics. So I read this book and I saw the concept, and he didn't know anything about mitochondria, what we know nowadays with modern research about light therapy and all of its benefits. He just said there's something about this light that heats the body up more effectively than a regular sauna. And there's additionally some special healing quality about the light. And so I was really intrigued by this and the concept. And I also found like a more modern doctor's rendition of the concept. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to build my own. I'll just do that. So I built my own electric light bath, and I used it right before bed, and I slept well. And so then I used it the next night before bed, slept amazingly. I was like, what? There goes the insomnia. And that really got me excited. So I used it with a lot of discipline for 6 months, almost every day. And at the end of that, I realized all my symptoms had gone away. My skin looked amazing. The acne was gone. My energy levels were much improved. My mood too, my qualitative things like mood and perspective and patience and cognitive ability had really improved. And that's when I realized at the end, wow, I actually had some brain fog too that I got rid of because I was just really sharp and just had a fundamentally shifted like psychological perspective on things. And and then I was like, well, and at this time I was doing rental real estate, trying to, this is after the crash of 2008. And I love building things and I was trying to start a career in that, but I didn't like the human aspect of it. I'm kind of a nice guy, and it just the whole thing didn't I didn't have the emotional constitution for that type of work, I guess. So I was like, well, where's the electric light bath? Why can't you buy this product? And and that started me on a journey that became eventually SaunaSpace. I started making these out of the back of my house, and eventually got serious, got a business loan, ended up getting a couple business loans. And that was, I started SaunaSpace about 10 years ago now. And the trigger for me though was like when I was like in one of my rental houses working on something, still doing things in the back of my house, but working on this rental house. And an early customer called me and she said, Brian, and she was crying, but like tears of joy, crying. And she said, Brian, I have to tell you, like you don't even know I've gotten my life back. And she proceeded to tell me that she had an onset of fibromyalgia and other autoimmune problems. She lost her job. She couldn't go out of her house. Her relationship with her husband and children was like really strained. Just everything was wrecked. And she said, 3 or 4 months of using this very bricolage version of my current product that I had made for her, my very early version, had completely, I'm not going to say completely healed her. I'm going to say it helped her remember that she can heal herself. And so she has this amazing healing story. And I was like tearing up too. I was like, wow, I'm making this thing. It's helping people transform their health. And I don't have to ask people for their rent, and they're prepaying me, and everybody's happy. And so I dropped my tools at that point and just dove, I just all in heart, mind, and spirit into SaunaSpace, into what became SaunaSpace.
It's amazing, guy. Yeah, those it's amazing those little pivotal points where you get that little extra nudge or boost from the universe that really touches your heart and takes
Yeah.
off, man. That's awesome. So how long ago was that when you got that message from her?
Oh, that was the first 6 months of doing it. So this would have been like 2012 or something like that. 2003, early two. Yeah. I ended up doing a little about 6 months after that. I applied for my first business loan, and the company was already formed, but I moved into a warehouse, hired my first employee. That was a disaster. It only worked for 3 months, but that got me on the journey of like taking this seriously, doing it full time.
What do you mean
So it's
that was a disaster?
Well, I had no idea. I had no business training, so I had no idea what I was doing, and I had a lot of also just personal growth that I had to do. I've been in a leadership role a lot in my life, but the employer employee dynamic and
No.
the concept of working in a business environment and then trying to scale it where everything's in your head and then getting somebody else to do it, not just like you would do it, but maybe even in a better way, was definitely has been one of the greatest challenges that I've had actually. But I figured out a lot of things and eventually started to scale and did pretty well. And then we moved into a new facility about 4 years later, which we're currently at. And now we've kind of maxed out this facility. We're looking to move into our next facility in the next couple of years.
Wow. And where do you sell your product?
So our product ships worldwide. Our biggest market is the US and Canada, but we have a lot of business in the UK and Australia as well. And then single orders are going everywhere from Singapore to Saudi Arabia to, I mean, every country on earth. Our product works everywhere in the world. We have 120 volt and 240 volt options. And it's a portable home sauna. So even, it's easy to ship, it's easy to set up, and we supply a the global market.
What do you mean portable?
So
I mean,
if you go to our website, sauna.space, you'll see our product is a portable, organic, elegant sauna tent. So it's not a big wood cabinet. It's only about 65 pounds. It sets up
what?
kind of like an erector set, kind of like a kid's toy. It's very minimalist in its construction, although it's very complex in terms of how it's made is challenging. But anyone can set this up, even people who are older with, maybe some health limitations, and it just plugs into a regular outlet. So it's a very different sauna concept. It's a sauna you can put in almost any apartment, any space, but it's full-fledged. It's not like a sauna suit or something like that. It's a healing space. You go inside and you transform, and the outside world goes away for this, this time that you're doing your therapy.
And you said that it also has a Faraday cage option as well.
Yeah, we have a all of our light panels are electromagnetically shielded because we
Uh-huh.
know nowadays the EMF stress is pretty toxic to humans. So we don't bring any EMFs to the party, but we also have some design innovations to protect the user from the EMF they have in their home. And so one thing is the grounding mat protects you from the wired EMF and gives grounding therapy. Some people call that earthing therapy.
Hmm.
And we have this optional add-on called the silver lining. The silver lining is a 35% silver organic cotton fabric that is grounded, just like the grounding mat, that lines the whole sauna and the curtain. So when you step inside, you're inside a grounded Faraday cage and it's blocking all the cell phone and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi signals from coming into the space. So it's very much a pre-technology space inside the SaunaSpace sauna with silver lining, and it's very quiet to the senses inside. It's a very almost unusual feeling for people who just live in urban areas and there's cell phone signal everywhere. That's our solution that we've created that's organic and durable, but also is like really effective at blocking. It's even tested for 5G frequencies to block those really well.
Huh. That's cool. And so far, like the pricing on your units.
Yeah, there's quite a wide range. We have our portable product is our Glow. It's a targeted therapy product that,
Oh,
excuse me.
so can you pull that up?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is called the Glow infrared therapy light. So it's on a desk arm right now. That's an optional accessory, but
Yeah.
this is used
I
for targeted therapy. And I have it here at the computer because it blocks out or it doesn't block out. It cancels blue light and flickering light. So we use it for technology fatigue. The computer work is not so stressful.
One of my clients has your product, and
Wow.
she's in South Dakota. She's a doctor in South Dakota. She uses it when she's on the calls with us. I always see it in the background. I'm like, what is that? She goes, it's red light therapy. She goes, it's really cool. It's got to be the same thing. It's got the cage just like yours does. I mean, it's
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's and that's in contrast to like most of the red light is LED
uh-huh.
based and you use it for a few minutes and it does a good job of what it does, but it doesn't have the wider array of uses that our red light therapy does. The full spectrum light has this really interesting additional benefit that I discovered many years ago where you can measure blue light from an LED like a screen I'm looking at you through,
Uh-huh.
and when you bring this firelight spectrum that I've created into the area, it doesn't even have to point at you. It's just kind of like in the area. It cancels out the measurable blue light and flickering a flicker rate of the LED, and that's what's stressful about the screens. That's why people wear blue blockers and sometimes they put screen filters on. And this is not just um, blocking the blue light, it's also healing you to some
Right.
degree. So you have that dual, like minimizing the blue light exposure and the healing and the mood enhancement effects that I can't even work with a computer honestly without it anymore. It's just once you try it, it's a dramatic difference. So
Wow.
that's just an additional application beyond the more classic use of targeted therapy
How
on the
much heat
body.
does how much heat does it put off? It's like a pretty good sized bulb.
Yeah, it's a very powerful bulb. It's the same bulb we use in our saunas. So the other products are our sauna panel. We call that the hearth, and that's the sauna heater that's inside of our firelight sauna, the
Uh-huh.
sauna with the portable tent enclosure that I described before. And yeah, it's very powerful. This won't like heat up your room. It's only one bulb, but it definitely delivers heat therapy to you. And the four bulbs in the sauna are sufficient to really quickly make the body sweat a lot faster than a regular sauna. Regular saunas use the air to heat the body up, so
Right.
they have to be preheated. You got to sit in it for like an hour, even if it's an infrared sauna. With our unique uh, incandescent firelight technology, we're using light itself to heat the body. It's called radiant heat, just
Right.
like the sun does. So
Right.
you're immediately heated from within, and the sweat response is way faster. The sauna sessions are, half an hour, with
Hmm.
a 4 bulb unit. With our super sauna, which is 7 bulbs, the sauna session is 15 minutes.
Hmm.
So the benefits of sauna come from using it a few days a week. All the amazing benefits we see with some kind of weekly frequency like that. So to only have to invest 45 minutes a week, 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week versus a 2 hour time investment in a regular
Right.
sauna with the preheating, that's a game changer for people who are, we just have really busy lives. So it makes for a very uniquely accessible, uniquely effective sauna experience. And that's just with the 4 bulbs. We do have that 7 bulb option that some people, we call that the super sauna, where again, the sauna session is cut in half to like 15 minutes and it's so fast. There's like no other sauna experience like it.
Huh. So where does the sweat go?
Yeah. So the sweat, so when we heat up the body, the heat shock proteins are activating the cells and then accelerate cellular detox. The
Right.
toxins go into the lymph.
Right.
And then since we're sweating, most of the toxins are eliminated through the sweat.
Right.
And where does the sweat go? The sweat goes onto the towel you sit on, and there's a towel on
Okay.
the stool and a towel on the floor, and you definitely remove that towel after the sauna session and wash it.
Gotcha.
And
So does
and
the unit have a floor in it as well, so you're not soaking your carpets or?
yeah, the whole unit is self-contained, so it includes a grounding mat that's made out of organic bamboo that's toasted, but it also has grounding material underneath, and it's grounded. So that's the floor of it. But to protect the floor, uh, we actually are coming out right this week with our new floor towel and a stool towel. But you put a towel on the floor
Uh-huh.
and a towel on the stool, and all of your sweat goes onto that, and you just remove it after the session, and that keeps the sauna extremely well maintained. The Having said that, the cover is made of organic, heavyweight washed cotton, and you can wash it, although you
What?
don't. Yeah, it's all machine washable, so it's a very, very, very convenient product. But you don't need to, with the towels. It's really the towels that are is
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
constantly laundering. So you
Yeah,
have a lot of
I'm just
towels.
picturing sitting in a sauna going, okay, where, in my carpeted bedroom or whatever. And the
Yeah, yeah.
next thing you know, you walk into the house and what's going on in here?
Yeah,
So there's
it's all self-contained. So our sauna you can install right on the carpet because it has the floor, it has all 6 walls.
awesome. Cool. And one more, the cost range about just some rough ideas.
Yeah, the portal lights they range from about $600 to our saunas uh get into thousands, our super sauna is like $6,000 or $7,000
Uh,
and it's all about those options that you want. But we sell everything modularly and all of our pricing is very transparent on our website. So if you already have a cabinet sauna, you want to upgrade it, you want to DIY your own sauna enclosure. Some people do really funny things like those little stair closets, those little Harry Potter closets. They'll make a sauna out of that, where
mm,
they'll just buy our sauna heater.
mhm.
But most people are getting our full firelight sauna, and that starts at about 3,900.
Gotcha. And so for what's the how long do the bulbs last?
Bulbs are
Require.
rated for 5,000 hours. So it's many, many years of sauna use. Even this glow light, if you're using it for technology fatigue 8 hours a day, every day, that would last you like 3 years. They're the only thing that eventually fails, and they're easily replaced.
Gotcha. Huh. Interesting. So what's the best way for people to get in touch with you, sir?
Yeah, definitely go to our website, sauna.space. We have live chat and in-house customer care, business, 9 to 5 on the weekdays. You can also call us, which is really unique. You can actually get someone on the phone. Sometimes we have to call
Wow.
you back, but we have in-house phone support and we provide a lifetime of customer success support. So people are on their healing journey and they have a healing reaction, or they have just any kind of challenges with their healing approach, we support them in addition to any kind of product support
And,
for a lifetime. So it's all on sauna.space.
gotcha. And do you have wholesale and retail? Do you work with
Uh,
retailers?
uh, we're primarily retail B2C to consumers worldwide. We also have an affiliate program usually, and we have a lot of practitioners in that program where it's an online affiliate program. We've decided to do that because of the increased administrative burden of sales tax in the US and the maintenance, maintaining sales tax exemptions when you have Nexus and you're required to collect and report sales tax in like 20 or 30 states, it becomes this really complicated system. So we found the affiliate approach. It's easier. We drop ship straight to the customer, and it's basically a referral program. So our practitioners who love us, they can recommend it, and we take care of all the complicated stuff like the shipping and the inventory.
Awesome. That's a great way to go. Cool. Well, Brian, it's been a pleasure having you on here. And I do have one quick question to ask you before we get off. And my question is, what do you really love about life?
Mm. What I've realized more recently is that that life becomes the most meaningful when we remember to be our highest and best selves and to be ourselves and truly be ourselves. We have this unlimited universe of healing inside that's definitely divinely designed. And the creator wants us to be ourselves, to not be anybody else. And when we're being ourselves and we look within and realize that we already have all the answers, they're already inside, and we just have to remember, we get on that path of rediscovering our unique gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And when we find those and pursue that purpose, that's when we're in alignment with the divine, and that's when we're happy.
Yeah.
And the universe wants us to be happy, but they don't want us to be anybody else. So what
Everybody
I
else is
love,
taken.
I know everybody else, you just be yourself. And that can be very challenging. Like, do I really like this thing? Do I really like the way I talk? Or is that just some conditioning I have? And is that an opinion or a perspective or a truth that I've absorbed from somebody else? Like, what
Huh.
are my actual truths? And so I'm really focused right now on honing that and figuring
Huh.
out, well, who am I really, and what do I love, and what are my, my deepest.
Have you read a book called Language in the Pursuit of Happiness?
No, I haven't. I'd love to write that down. Language in the Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, Chalmers Brothers.
Got it. Why do you recommend that?
Because of the way you're speaking and it would help refine what you just said. But it has a lot to do with what you're speaking of. And I think it'll just add a little greater level of clarity what's going on. I saw a video a number of years ago, and it said the greatest feelings we can have as humans is sex was an 8 out of 10, psychedelics was a 9 out of 10, and the only thing that was a 10 out of 10 was the conscious use of our co-creative gift.
Mm,
And
mm,
when we can um, begin to understand how this gift works and how wonderful it is, life becomes really fun, and our manifestations grow in boldness and velocity. So
hmm
you're definitely playing the bold game to move from where you were to where you are, and love is your motivator. So acknowledging what you're doing, and congratulations on your business, sir.
Thank you for having me, Mark. It's been a
You're
pleasure.
welcome. You're welcome.